what we sow. It talks about us planting the seed. And it talks about the harvest. And it says, you need to become very aware that you may or may not plant consistently with my plant. And sometimes you plant thorns. Sometimes you plant fruit. But the seed is mine. And the harvest is mine. So plant what you may. There's a blessing there. There's a blessing. I may be wrong. I may be dead wrong. But I believe that we chose the body that we come to. I believe that we chose the family that we come to. I believe that we chose the financial circumstances that we come to. I believe that we chose before we came here. Because we wanted something. I wanted something.
That's right.
I said, God, take me deeper.
Yes.
He said, God, take me deeper. And he whispered back to me, I'll take you deeper, but you need to stay still. But I just love to run, so I just wouldn't stay still. So I said, well, I guess we need some help. I'll take you deeper, but you need to stay still.
Come on now.
Now you may think I'm talking about myself. But you want to go deep. You want more prosperity in your life, but you won't stay still. You want more love in your life, but you won't stay still. I'm going to share you a little bit of effort. Stay still. I don't think life has to be as hard as it have to be. I think we fight too hard. Fight too hard for that which God has just wanted to bless us with. It's just waiting to just pour down upon us. It's yours. It's mine to take. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. It's one of the biblical verses that I kept repeating to myself. And there's something, if you sit with that one long, that you realize it's a prayer not for me to discipline myself and no longer having a desire. It's a prayer for me to wait. You see, when you realize you have it all, you have no more. But you got to stay. You got to stay still. I have your blessing. But you got to stay still. You've got to stay still. I didn't really prepare for this talk. And I thought I might be better. Is that right, baby? I want to thank you for sharing this. When I left the hospital, it was on a Saturday. And I didn't tell my wife I had left the hospital. I just surprised her at the airport. And I looked as wary as a man looks after 3 weeks in the hospital with kidney failure, the start of chemotherapy. But I told my wife, I said, baby, we're going to church tomorrow. We're going to church tomorrow. And I know I look like the way I look like, and I'm telling you we're going to church tomorrow. And I said that because I needed something.
Mm-hmm.
I needed it. I needed it. And I worked my way up to the altar, and I took the mic. And I told the congregation, I said, you know, some of you may have noticed, I have been here for a minute. And this is what's happening. Here's my diagnosis. Here's what they say are my odds, if you want to call them odds. And I told them, but I want you to know that I'm giving this 3 months. Let it do what it's going to do. I want you to know that I'm giving this 3 months. And you need to know what was happening at that moment. Because it wasn't so much what I wanted. The truth is, it took 7 months. But something was happening there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was calling for something.
Mm-hmm.
My soul was calling your soul.
Yes. Yes.
And I said, pray with me.
Yes.
Pray with me. Here is my cry. Pray with me. Hold me. Remind me who I am. Remind me who I am. Here's my situation, and here is my prayer. And you heard my prayer. And sometimes our mind doesn't need to know what the heart already knew. And I recall it was 2 years later, 2 years to the day, 2 years to the day, Chris had made a painting. She does healing portraits. And she presented me with the painting. I hadn't seen it. I had worked with her on it, and I had no idea what it looked like. And it was gorgeous, and it was moving, it was beautiful. But that day, when I accepted it, I remember I spoke about this coincidence. And I spoke about the day that I came back here, and I mentioned how I had made sure to come to church after that I'd been released from the hospital. And something left my mouth at that moment that was beyond what I understood. And I remember I spoke to the congregation. I said, I want you to know that you were praying for me. I want you to know that even if you weren't there that Sunday, you were praying for me. And I want you to know that if you've never been in this church before, you were praying. And Spirit was saying to me something. I said, I am not bound by space. I am not bound by time. I am. Speak, and I hear. Speak, and I listen. I am yours. You are mine. And that's it. I'm yours. You're mine. Just let go. Just let go. I just want you to pray. I want you to think about your kidney. You know the one that you're embarrassed to even talk about? I want you to talk about your kidney. I want you to bring it to mind and bring it to your root. And know that I am yours and that you are mine. and that it is done. It is done because it was never there to begin with. Because it was never there to begin. One of my favorite lines in the Course in Miracles terrifies me. It scares me to death, and it brings me to life. It says, "You are a miracle." Sounds really pretty, but then it goes on. It says, "You can raise the dead and heal the sick because you created death and sickness yourself." We pray for this. We pray for this. Why would you waste your time fighting? We pray for this. There's a blessing there. Take it. There's a blessing. Take it.